All right, hello. Hibagon, the Japanese Bigfoot, came crashing out of the bush in northern Hiroshima Prefecture, right around Mount Hiba, in 1970. We have looked individually at each of the sightings and tracks found that year. Now let's take on the next year, 1971. And I want to look at the whole year as it hangs together in this one video. So let's look at 1971. It was a good year, so they tell me. I don't remember very much about it. I turned 1 year old during 1971. March 21st. 1971, witness KK, 48 years old, finds a 300-meter-long track of footprints in a Saijo-yuki municipal yard. Saijo-yuki is here, remember, on this Yuki loop. It was still an independent town in 1971. These footprints measured 24 centimeters long, 10 centimeters wide. April 1971, Saijo-yuki Town creates the Department of the Ape Clerk. The office or Department of the Ape Clerk. Our friend Mr. Katsuyuki Eki is the first ape clerk. And he's always the ape clerk in our hearts. Ape clerk emeritus. We love him. Now, the first sighting is not until September. First publicly declared and sworn sighting, at least. September 3rd, TF, 53 years old, sees a Hibagon outside his or her home in Jinseki Kogen, called the Jinseki Highland, is here. Now, my wife's people come from here. They still are up there. And the creature was loitering around a mountain cherry tree. Now, the following day, September 4th, witness TT, 45 years old, finds footprints near the Chubu Electric Power Station. Now, I believe that is this power station here at the Taishakugawa Dam in the Taishaku Gorge. Beautiful Taishaku Gorge. Fascinating place. Full of caves where they have found very old human remains. They tell me they're human. Mastodon bones. And, of course, your obligatory megalithic structures, which are all over Hiroshima Prefecture. The footprints were 24 centimeters long, so it could be the same Hibagon leaving those prints. And our very first sighting in 1970 was also at a dam, the Rokunohara Dam. This is our second hydroelectric dam connection. September 7th, witness YS, 45 years old, finds a track of 37 footprints on Tate Boshiyama. That's the southern conical summit of Mount Hiba. These footprints are 18 centimeters long. So that's a different and a smaller individual. YS is a researcher from Meijo University, part of a team investigating the area and the Hibagon. September 14th, busy month, September, witness KM, 13 years old, 13 years old, sees Hibagon outside a hot spring public bath. The creature is brown and approximately 160 centimeters tall. Now, we had a Hibagon at the Unohara Hot Spring a year ago, October 12th, 1970. This is the second hot spring sighting. And again, I wish we had more details. Was it peeking in the windows? Was it looking at the naked ladies? Or was it just innocently strolling past the hot spring bath? We don't know. I wish I did know. October 24th. Witness YS again from Meiji University. YS finds another track of footprints. These are again 18 centimeters long, and they're in the prefectural forest. And that again is on the backside of Mount Hiba. December 15th, 1971, witness RN, 69 years old, sees Hibagon north of Hibayama Station along the Geibi train line. Now, this spot is 7 kilometers almost due south of the Rakanohara Dam, scene of the first sighting. The track here runs north-south, and the western side is unbroken forest and mountain all the way up to Mount Hiba, except for one road, and that is the Rakanohara Dam Road. The creature was covered in black hair and, quote, gorilla-like. It was approximately 150 centimeters tall and left, quote, claw marks in 6 places, whatever that means. And that was all the Hibagon news for 1971, the publicly known sightings and findings. I hope it helps to see them all together, all on the map. We have touched on Hibagon seasonality before, and you can see that the pattern is strong here. Now, I'll just remind you that the Meiji University team verified the Hibagon as some kind of unknown animal, as did the research team from Kobe University. These are good schools. You can look them up. As did the Hiroshima police. As did the veterinarian that I consulted. As did the primatologist that I consulted. As did all of the physicians and dentists. Now, the veterinarian, the hematologist, and the pediatric surgeon are all positive that it is Hibagon. Well, I'm setting my eyes on going back up there this spring, probably April or May. We want to be sure that all the snow has gone. We are trying to find this location, and we want to find more evidence of current Hibagon presence. And we have to check those trail cams that will have been up there all winter. Okay, mailbag time. Mailbag. My friend M.B. still thinks that these photos are photoshopped. Now, I have asked her to demonstrate where and how. I've looked for pixelation. I've studied the levels. I've looked for layers. I can't find any signs of Photoshop. My commercial artist friend sees no signs. And our artist friend here, RC, reconstruction clerk, worked very hard on anatomical reconstructions from these photos. I think that he would have seen any signs of Photoshop. So, MB, the onus is on you, I think. Show me and tell me where you see the Photoshop signatures. Tell me what they are. I'll check it out. And I'm not angry with you, MB, and I don't sense any malice on your part, but listen, simply yelling Photoshop in a crowded YouTube theater, it doesn't make it so. So show me the Photoshop artifacts, okay? And I'll check it out. And I'll consult the commercial artist. Amit Kumar says, it might also be an ape or gorilla. How can you be so sure it's Bigfoot? It is still not a conclusive evidence to be called a Bigfoot. Well, Amit, that's why I sought out a veterinarian and a primatologist. The primatologist confirmed that it is an unknown primate. It is not a gorilla or anything in the, not any of the apes. It's no known primate. Now, the veterinarian went farther and told me that it has to be the Hibagon, because what else would it be? We don't multiply monsters here. That would be irresponsible. An unknown, hairy, humanoid primate meeting the description of Bigfoot, behavior also meeting the description of Bigfoot. That's why I call it the Japanese Bigfoot, known and recorded here for centuries, long before any recordings of the North American Bigfoot. Studio Lunarist, who is a skunk ape eyewitness from Florida, writes that this Hibagon deal is genuinely the most fascinating Bigfoot subject matter to me, and seems to take an eventful turn no matter where it goes. Thus far, it has every inch of ground to stand true, in my honest opinion. When serious people take it seriously, rather than staying silent, the veil becomes ever more transparent. Thanks again, Kyle. My name is Alex. Stay safe out there. Well, thank you, Alex, and yeah, I agree. I think this Hibagon is remarkably unstudied, and what we have already found is excellent confirmation of what is being observed in North America and elsewhere. And the idea that a bunch of Japanese farmers conspired to lie about this when Bigfoot was hardly known here, and it's still hardly heard of, well, I think that's a very flimsy, very improbable thesis. Richard Baumeister writes, I've been recently studying the worldwide phenomenon of Sasquatch, Sabe, Bigfoot, and because of the sheer numbers of very similar reports that are unconnected, and the photos and videos worldwide, reports by very credible people, I have concluded that it is all real. Now, in addition to all of this, we have your report of this creature that is very similar. The evidence worldwide is very conclusive. Bigfoot exists. Well, thank you, Richard, and what can I say? I agree with you, too. Our friend John Mellon says, Kyle, this is an awesome video. Speaking of the last video, I did a lot of comparisons between the Hibagon and gorillas, just for curiosity's sake, even though I could tell it's not a gorilla. The skull and the lower jaw is a lot bigger than the gorillas. Sorry, John, my telephone just went off there. You can see how popular I am. Picking up, the skull and the lower jaw is a lot bigger than the gorillas. I've seen a lot of skulls, and that Hibagon, a.k.a. Japanese Bigfoot, doesn't match anything in my memory bank. It is the genuine article. Thank you, Kyle, for another awesome video. I love you, and I hope you are well. My prayers for your sick friend. Go, Team Hibagon. John, thanks for checking it out like a good Berean. This is a noble mindset to receive a message eagerly and examine it to see for yourself whether those things be so. I try to be transparent at the risk of over-explaining, mansplaining, and repeating myself, which some people don't like. But I do it so that you can check it out. You can check my sources. You can be like John here and be responsible and don't be a lazy believer or a lazy doubter. Don't be lazy either way, is my advice to everyone. Okay, I'm Kyle for Hibagon Japanese Bigfoot. I think we'll talk about Japan's 72 micro-seasons next and how they might illuminate our megalith remains. Or we might survey the year 1972. Either way, 72 micro-seasons or 1972. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.